This is your Wall Street wake-up call. Global stocks on track to end the month of May with some gains. I'm joined now by Craig Earlham, a senior market strategist with Awanda, based in London. So, Craig, ahead of a key European Central Bank meeting this week, we have some fresh data showing deflation narrowed in May in the Eurozone, perhaps suggesting that the ECB stimulus measures are working and perhaps it can stay the course for right now.
Well, I guess it depends what measures you're looking at. We have seen, for example, data recently that suggests we are seeing improvements in bank lending to businesses. But I guess when you look at the overall inflation figures, we are still in deflation territory, and we have been for a few months. And I think that's got to be a concern of the ECB because it has repeatedly provided monetary stimulus for the euro area, and yet we're continuing to see this disappointing data. Now, of course, the core inflation reading was slightly better, which is a positive. But I think overall the ECB is still well below its inflation target, and it's only a matter of time before it has to reconsider once again whether what it's doing is enough or whether other measures are needed.
But they just implemented more measures back in March, and so do you think at this meeting they'll have, room to do even more?
No, I don't think we'll get any more from them from the next few months because, like you say, they just implemented measures in March, and it was quite a substantial package of measures that covered a broad range of different aspects from its arsenal. So I don't think we're going to see any more for the next few months at the very least. I think it's going to be very difficult for Mario Draghi to find support from policymakers for even more measures. Again, they're going to have to wait and see what kind of an impact this has on the longer term. But like I say, the early signs, they're not great at this stage.
Now let's also shift and talk about the OPEC meeting coming up this week. How does the narrative there change now that oil has crossed $50 a barrel?
Well, I guess this is where we're finally starting to see the benefits of OPEC's policy over the past 12 to 18 months. Now, I don't think people are expecting any change in OPEC's stance. For one, because of the policy seems to actually finally be working, and we're actually getting to a stage when we're seeing falling production and rising prices, which is effectively what they were looking for in the first place. But again, you've still got the political issues within OPEC, particularly between Saudi Arabia and Iran, which were always going to make any deal to cut or even freeze production very unlikely. So I don't think we're expecting any significant changes from the OPEC meeting. Just maybe some rhetoric which suggests we've pursued this policy and it's finally working.
All right, just very quickly, where are you putting money to work right now? Of course, as we approach the record high levels in the S&P 500 that were reached last spring.
Yeah, as you say, we are seeing markets at record highs right now, and I do think we are in for a tough summer. So I think we're going to see a lot of interest in the defensive plays, to be quite honest. Like I say, we've got Brexit referendum coming up. We've got potential Fed rate hike over the summer. And I think traditionally, like you say, the summer is pretty quiet time for the market. So I do think we are going to see a bit of a defensive summer and maybe a re-emergence again in the autumn.
All right, Craig Earlham, senior market analyst at Awanda. Craig, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Scott Gamm, and you're watching The Street.